Hi everyone, welcome to Poppy DIY Crafts. Today we have a really fun mold from Let's Resin. This one is shaped like a dagger. So this looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to fill because these daggers have these little shapes in there that you can fill. For the supplies, over here on the left I have my epoxy resin, and on the right side I have a selection of some glitters, some beads, and some rocks. So we're going to use these to fill the dagger. Alright, let's get started. So here is the dagger mold. Let's go ahead and measure it so that you know how big it is. So from the tip to the end of the blade is about 6.5 inches, or 6 and actually 3/4 inches. And then to the end of the hilt is at a little bit over 9.5 inches. So this is a pretty long blade, and it's also pretty thick. So as you can see, we have quite a bit of depth here. So from what I can see, I think it's about a bit over 1/2 inch. We can measure this afterwards too. So I'm going to pour this in multiple layers. Let's go ahead and pour our first layer. The first layer is going to be clear. And we're going to carefully add in a few of these heart beads. I'm going to carefully move them into position. For the second dagger, we're going to add a little bit of blue. I'm just using alcohol ink, so it's nice and translucent. Now I'm going to pour it into the mold. For this one, we're going to add some seahorses. And we're going to move them into position. In the back, we're going to add some rocks too. Alright everyone, so it's been a few hours, and so our first layer of resin is almost solid. It's still a tiny bit sticky to the touch, but we are going to go ahead and put down our second layer. So here on this side, we are going to add some of these clear crushed glass. These are just a lot of fun. It's clear and they're crushed into tiny bits. So I'm going to pour that into the mold. Now let's pour another layer of resin. So for this side with the seahorse, we're going to add one more layer of resin, and I'm going to color it with some sapphire flakes. These are just gorgeous. Look at that. Oh wow, this is really, really pretty. And we're just going to fill it in the rest of the way. That is just so satisfying. And for the other side, with the one with the crushed glass, we are going to add black diamond flakes to it. Oh wow, just look at this one. This one looks beautiful too. Now we wait for this layer to cure. Alright everyone, so it's been a day and we are now ready to demold. Let's go ahead and pop them out. I'm really excited to see what the other side is going to look like. Okay, so this is the blue one with the seahorse. Okay, so here is the back. Here's the side with the 2 layers. And here is the front. Oh, this is super pretty. And you can kind of see the rocks. So these rocks are, after putting them in the resin, are actually pretty translucent. That is interesting. Now let's take out the other dagger. Okay, so here is the back. See the 2 layers, and here is the front. love these hearts right here. So this one is a little bit different. This one is raised up, whereas the other one has a dip. So when you're planning out your daggers, make sure to design it the way that you want it, knowing that these two daggers are actually different. And so what you can actually do is put the two halves together like a little case. So you can use them separately as kind of its own design, or you can make it into a case where there are little capsules here for you to put objects. You can't put very large objects. You can put little rocks like this. Like that. That's pretty neat, isn't it? So on this side, the top side, they do have little grooves. These are made so that it will actually lock into the bottom half. So just be aware that if you're going to be using this as a two-piece set, that one side's going to have these little grooves. The other side doesn't have it. But today we are going to finish them up as two separate daggers. So on the seahorse one, we're going to add more beads. I have these turtle and starfish beads. These are really fun, and I think they'll look great in these little spaces here. So I'm going to put them in here like this, and then we're going to add another layer of resin. So for this one has a deeper capsule, and we are going to be adding these skulls to it, which I think will make it look kind of creepy, but also really cool. Before we add the skulls, we are going to fill the bottom up with some of these gold chips to make it look like it's lying in a bed of gold. So we're going to put in just enough so that we can rest our skull inside. Oh my goodness, it's looking a little creepy, isn't it? Okay, so let's go ahead and mix our resin. This time I'm just going to make a small amount, and we are just going to fill the cavities. And we're going to have to keep an eye on these because there's going to be a lot of bubbles forming from the rocks and also from the holes inside the beads. With our tweezer, we're going to move these skulls into place so they are looking upwards. They're extra creepy. For this one, on the very bottom of the cavity, I'm going to add a little bit of sand. And then we're going to fill it up with resin. And now we wait for it to cure. Alright everyone, and we are done. So the resin has cured, and let's take a look at our daggers, our little dagger display pieces. So here is the first one. Here are the hearts. I just really love that. And of course, here are the skulls sitting on top of a pile of gold. Just look at that. Isn't that neat? So here's the back. Super shiny. You can see the different layers. And of course the skulls. And since we filled it all the way up to the top, it is flat. And here is the other piece. This is the ocean themed one. So we have the blue on the bottom, a little bit of blue, transparent blue on the top layer. And of course inside these holes we have the starfish and the sea turtles. And I think these turned out fantastic too. And even right now, after we filled in all the gaps, we can still close it up. So we can store it like this. There's no more space for you to store anything anymore, but you can still kind of collapse it so that you can put this away as kind of one intact dagger, or you can display them separately as two art pieces. So I really love this. Alright everyone, what do you guys think? Do you like this? I think these turned out beautiful. And so I think they're really great for display. I'm not too sure if I would use them to store anything as a case. These might be good for pills. There are 7 days, so if you have 7 vitamins, maybe you can put them into the holes, one for each day. And that way you'll remember to take your vitamins every day. So let me know down below in the comment section what you think you would do. Would you make it into 2 display pieces like me, or would you keep it as a case? And if you enjoyed this video at all, give it a big thumbs up and consider subscribing. Alright, see you next time. Bye!